Good day, warm welcome. Delighted you're joining this meditation experience. Hopefully, you're seated comfortably, ready to roll, and without any plans in your head, because this one is about planning without planning. The no plan plan. Now, I had if you don't know, and there's no reason you would know this, and once I say it, you can forget it, but I mention it only because it's relevant to this topic. So one of the hats I get to wear, it's like playing dress up, is fitness instructor. And I had a participant at the end of the class one day come up to me, and I don't know why he asked this, but he said, when you come to teach, because sometimes I'll walk in and I'll say, any requests, any equipment you'd like to work with? And they'll say something, say, okay, let's work with that equipment. So he said, do you ever plan for the classes? Because he said, it's odd that we could just tell you a request and then you do the class. Like, how could you plan ahead for that? So he says, do you ever plan for classes? And I looked around to make sure no one was listening. I said, can I be completely honest with you? Most of the time, no. And it sounds like you're just irresponsible when you say that. And I said, no, I just kind of hope that the ideas will emerge. There's often nothing in my head. It's kind of living on the edge. And he went, and I said, I hope that doesn't disturb you or make you question my competence. He said, no, actually, that's very cool. I think that's a very cool way to go about it. And part of what inspired that for me, it was a personal mission, was I received a very, very beautiful image one day from a very gifted artist who has since passed away at a very young age, but she would work with mixed medium. And one day out of the blue, she sent this beautiful little original piece she had done to me and said, I think that you will like this. Somehow I feel that you will like this. And so I opened it up, beautiful image, and on it was a little bit of writing, and it said, a healed heart never plans. And I was like, I don't even know why. I love it. I love it. Yes, I love the word healed, but there's so much tied into that idea of never plans. Most of the time, and yes, there's times when we have to be prepared and have an intention and gather things together, but we often go over the edge, and we're often having to check what's driving the planning. That's what this is really about. Very often it's ego that's driving this planning. Planning isn't bad, but when ego is driving the planning, then we can get into a bit of spiritual trouble, because ego, its entire job is to make me feel good for all the wrong reasons, to feed the image rather than the self. And so when ego's doing things, it's creating this incredible pressure cooker where my image has to be validated or I'll feel horrible. So I'm making all these plans just to keep my image intact, to feed ego rather than self-respect. A healed heart is the heart of one with self-respect. All the capacities are available to me. So things actually go better when I go in with a very, if you will, loose intention, plan, or concept, but allow flexibility, allow flow. Things go far better, this kind of improv approach. So most of the time, my plan is to make sure I'm connected to my self-respect, my true identity, connected to a source of goodness or power, we could say even God, and connected to the right intention, that whatever happens is beneficial. Even me falling on my face, beneficial. That is my only intention, that everyone benefits. So there's a plan. It is quite an underground plan, and there's a lot of space for other things to emerge that I might never have conceived of. So let's just go in and explore that underground plan and fortify that, if you will. Sitting comfortably, eyes again can be open, so I can integrate this into day-to-day life. And in one thought, I go underground, not physically underground, spiritually, metaphorically underground. I go underneath all the usual activity in my head around roles and tasks and relationships, what I have to do, what I don't have to do, what are others doing. Underneath all of those usual day-to-day worldly thoughts, I come into a different space inside. Often feels like a sanctuary. In the outer world, when we walk into a temple or sanctuary, the idea is that the secular, the worldly, is left behind. When I come into this inner sanctuary, underground, I feel I'm entering very sacred ground, a very sacred place inside where I have permission to think in a different and perhaps deeper way. Imagining in my inner sanctuary, there are 3 points of light, 3 seeds underground, like 3 candles in my sacred place. And my entire plan is to experience each one in turn. I focus on the first seed, light, candle, immediately feeling how remarkably calm its light is, not just radiating warmth, but a very, very deep serenity. This light is so cool and calm. There's almost a nobility or royalty to that calm, that nothing can shake it. Very graceful peace. And I realize what I am reflecting on, what I am experiencing, is my own true self, the authentic self, not reactive, not violent, not impatient, very graceful, very serene, a very royal sense of the self, the stage of self-respect, personal dignity. I stay for a moment and drink in that experience of myself until, in essence, I become that spark of light. This is me, the soul. Everything else has faded away. No other personality or experience of the self just this stage of deep dignity. I dig deep underground to experience the deep dignity of the cell, unshakable calm. I'm ready in this stage to reflect on the second light, seed, or candle. Again, as if living, radiating a beautiful vibration. I am reflecting on a very beautiful being. Only goodness radiates from this being. Very, very pure heart. Whether I call it the divine, the supreme, the eternal parent, God, the source of goodness, I am now in the company or presence of that one. But not in a worshiping way. It feels like a meeting of deep respect. I have respect for that one, but surprisingly, I feel the respect of that one for me, as if together we can achieve so much goodness, being an instrument for goodness, which naturally leads to the third seed, point of light, candle in this sacred space. Now, in that beautiful partnership, what will be my objective, my intention, my motivation for all I do? Benevolence. Not you and me, or they and them, me against you, you against me, but together, community. How can we all benefit? How can I be part of solutions, cooperation, creating cultures of harmony and respect? That is my objective. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I am, there might be an outer outcome, but internally, this is my only interest: to support benevolent outcomes for all. I take a moment in my sacred space to plant these 3 seeds very, very deeply in the soil of my mind and heart, in the self. Who I am connected to, and what is my objective? What do I need to do internally as I move through the world, feeling each one. Each has such a beautiful fragrance or feeling. The dignity of the self, this respectful partnership with the source of goodness, and a deep regard for others, contributing to cultures of greatness, feeling each one, breathing it in. I am creating the blueprint for the plan I will carry with me at every moment, so I can plan less above the surface, letting this plan operate as it can in every situation. Om Shanti.